I have a couple stories. Actually, one actually involves the food thing too, which is kind of funny. But we were drunk though, so it was a little different. I mean, like really drunk. But I'll get to my first story first, and then I'll get to the food one. And these aren't really dates per se, but they're just funny stories. So when I was also like 19, I worked at a sandwich shop. I don't know if you guys have like a Togo's around you guys.
Yeah,
Togo sandwich shop. I worked over there, and so we would be helping customers all day long, right? It's my first job, helping customers. And that shift in particular, I was working with this guy. He's an older gentleman. I'll never forget it. This black dude. He looked like James Brown. Okay. And his name was, he looked like James Brown. His name was James Valentine. Okay. This guy was so funny, man. So funny. And it was just me and him that day on the shift. And this gorgeous Japanese girl comes in with this dude with like red hair, right?
Oh, and like you got perked up real quick then, huh?
Oh yeah, I was like, oh yeah. So she walks in with this dude, right?
I remember this story.
And she's like, dude. So I mean, I was like super like, wow, this chick is hot. And then the dude was kind of nerdy though, right? So I'm talking to like James, like kind of low key, like behind the counter, and I'm like, James,
what the fuck is she doing with this guy?
I know. I was like, there's no way, right? Like, James, what do you think, dude? Do you think they're together? And James was like, no, man, they're definitely not together. There's no way. Make your move, man, make your move. Okay. So I'm only 19 though. I'm like kind of shy. I'm like, fuck, what do I do? So I'm making their sandwiches, and I'm like, I can't even talk to her. So what I did was I made her sandwich. I wrapped it up with that, like, the paper or whatever. And I wrote my number on the fucking sandwich, and I bagged it up and I gave it to her. And then I bagged his up and I gave it to him. Okay. So I'm like, okay. So they walk out, and I tell James, hey, you know what? I gave her my number. Let's see what happens. Right. So like a couple days later, I get this phone call. Right. And she's like, hey, is this, is this Christopher? And I'm like, yeah. And she goes, oh, this is Joyce. You wrote your number on my sandwich. I'm like, oh shit, So she called me, and I'm like, okay, cool. We're talking, and she goes, can I ask you a question? And she was like, and I was like, yeah, anything. What do you need to know? And she goes, how old are you? And I'm like, I'm 19. And she goes, oh, it's I'm just too old for you. It would be like criminal if like we were to hang out, like if we were to,
Yeah.
So illegal, technically it wouldn't be. I was 19, but like she was like, this wouldn't work out. It's just, I'm too old for you. Well, we kept talking and stuff, and then one thing led to another, and like, she's like, oh, let's meet up at the pool hall or whatever down the street. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, cool, And she's like, we're like at the pool hall. It was the first time I ever like hung out with her,
Yeah.
And she's like doing the pool thing, and she's like, oh, I need help. Can you come around and like help me? Like, I want to try to get this shot,
Oh, she's spitting game, bro.
So I was like, I go around with like, and I'm like, oh man, this is kind of going somewhere, I'm like, oh fuck. And then we start talking, and we ended up kissing and all this other stuff. And then she sits me down and she goes, hey, I need to talk to you. I'm like, oh, what's going on? And she goes, hey, this is kind of risky for me. And I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, well, she goes, the dude that you saw me with is my boyfriend.
Husband. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, not husband at the time, but they lived together, but like boyfriend that lives together. So kind of basically husband,
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh shit, And she goes, yeah, but she's like, that's not it. I'm like, okay. She goes, he's really jealous, and he's a Marine Corps sniper.
Oh no, dude.
Oh, no. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna fucking die, He's gonna murder me, So we ended up like, it was like this real shady thing for like a few weeks. Like she would like randomly show up at Togo's, and then like on my break, we'd go up to the parking lot upstairs and we'd just make out, and then like she'd go back to her car, whatever. Like she was like super like low key about everything,
You should have added that sriracha sauce, bro.
So then eventually I ran into her at the mall with her like her I think it was like her brother or like some family member. And I saw her and I saw her brother or whatever. And I'm like, oh, hey, nice to meet you, man. And so she called me that night and she goes, hey, my brother thinks you're a really nice kid, yada, yada, yada. And she goes, but my brother thinks like you're way too young for me, you know? And she was actually 31. That was her,
Wow.
so I was 19, she was 31. The brother was like, I guess kind of telling her like, it's not really cool to do this, and you're putting the kid in danger with the fucking psycho boyfriend, the whole thing. So we ended up going our certain ways. But man, if Joyce, you're watching this,
You see, after the episode comes out, you see Chris Kyle on the building across the street, just sniping, looking down the scope.
Exactly.
Dude,
oh man, that was crazy. That was a crazy time. Yeah, that was
That's
wild.
crazy.
Yeah, and then this other thing.
Yeah, tell us about the food.
Oh, the food one. This one's a little TMI, but I mean, it's no more TMI than what George was talking about.
You fucked the pie.
I did.
Okay.
An apple crumble pie. That was fantastic. No,
Oh, really? Mine was Dutch.
so this I think it was like I was a little bit older, maybe like 20. I mean, I was still pretty young, 19 or 20, but I didn't work at the sandwich shop anymore. I worked at a hip hop clothing store. And I fucking love this job. I was there for like 4 years. It was like the best job I ever had. But anyway, I met this girl there. Her name was Connie, and she was cool, And so I met her and her friend. And one day they both, it's going to sound freakier than it is. Okay. But one day they both came over after work and we all hung out. And we were like drinking or whatever. And so obviously like, when you're that age, you're kind of new to drinking, like your tolerance is like lower than you are when you get older. You sort of build up a tolerance, Yeah. So Connie and
being an alcoholic.
Yeah, exactly. So Connie and I, her friend's name was Na, and it was so Na and Connie. So Na didn't drink at all, and Connie did, and so did I. And so we were drinking, and so we were getting pretty tipsy, So this is so bad, dude. So Na leaves the room, and Connie's like, "I want you to." Can you pour the drink on your? And I'll drink it off of that.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
I was like, okay, whatever you want. So yeah, that's my food story. That was kind of wild.
So what was it? Where'd you pour?
It was a Corona.
Oh, it was a Corona. I'm not gonna look at Corona the same again, bro.
I know, but it didn't. It probably didn't have the after effects like the sriracha did, Josh.
Oh no.
No, the sriracha was like a whole nother like level. Because as I said, like she put it in places that I never thought you really should be putting sriracha. As I said, it didn't go internally, but she put it externally, and it's basically wherever she put it. It was like, okay, that's where you lick it up.
But it's sriracha.
That is fantastic, dude.
Could be
That is
anything.
so funny.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy, man.
She went her life knowing that she liked to lick sriracha off other people.
Yeah.
Like we put on her fucking resume.
I actually have another funny story.
Oh no! Tell it.
Oh man. Okay, one more, and then I'll go to. Ken, are you gonna share anything or?
Yeah, we'll share. You're good.
Okay. This is like. I think this was before all this. I think it was like 17 or 18. It was like my first like girlfriend, and like we're both like new to all this stuff, So we're at my house, and this is crazy. So she's like, we're like experimenting, and she's like, we don't have a toy, So, she says to me, go in the dining room. Go in the dining room, and there's like these like these fake fake veggies on the table.
Oh shit.
Fake. Oh, the glass
Like-
ones. The
No,
glass
they were
one?
like plastic. Or
Plastic.
fake,
It's like those
yeah, like
plastic fucking
fake
things.
vegetables, you know? She's like, just grab one of those. So I'm like, okay. So we did, and so we did our thing or whatever, and then she's like, "Okay, just just go put it back." I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna put that shit back. No way, dude. That's fucking tacky." So yeah, that was funny, but it wasn't like yeah. I ended up just throwing it away. I didn't put it back. She was like, "Yeah, just put it back. Why not put them where we eat?" That's like.
Okay, so I don't feel as bad for some of the women that I ended up with, because I was with someone that did some crazy shit with some ping pong balls. I tell you that much, because
Jeez, George.
How many did you fit in your ass, George?
oh, was it me?
Oh, okay.
Hey, George, you said you're the ass guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
You never said which ass you were talking about, bro. So.
Yeah.
What about you, Tony? You got any stories?
Yeah, any stories?
So yeah, I had a pretty bad first date. So the plan was just to have dinner. I was in I traveled to Sacramento to visit friends, and I went on a date with this girl, and the plan was just go have food and go back to my hotel and just chill. So after dinner, it was good. We had a good conversation. She wanted to go back to the hotel, and I was like, all right, fuck it, why not? We picked up a bottle, we were just drinking, talking and stuff. One thing led to another. We started getting into it, and I can't believe I'm telling the story, but so we started getting into it, and I told her, I was like, hey, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. I was catching a cramp, so I was like, oh, I need to go to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom, and I come back, and we start making out, and she starts crying. I'm like, are you okay? And she just starts bawling like someone had passed away type bawling. I was like, what's the matter? And I thought she was like gonna tell me, oh, I gotta go. And all of a sudden she just goes to sleep. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And there was no way she was drunk, because we didn't drink that much, like maybe a couple shots, and she just fell asleep. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What just happened? So I'm like, okay. So I sit down on the, how there's always a chair in the hotel rooms. I literally sat down on the chair and just didn't bother her for the rest of the night. And so I wake up, it's like 5 a.m, and she taps me. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, what do you mean, what am I doing? And she goes, why are you sleeping on the chair? I was like, you were fucking crying your ass off. I didn't want to bother you, so I just slept in the chair. I didn't want to bug you.
Right.
And then she was like, I was crying? I was like, you don't remember? So I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was so confused. And then, I ended up laying down. We just cuddled for the rest of the day, or for the rest of the morning, and then went our separate ways. But dude, it was so
weird.
So you still don't know to this day what
that was?
what that went down.
No, I had no idea. And I don't know if she has like sleep apnea or where the fuck happened, dude, but she passed the fuck out. I was
the
like,
one that got away.
The one that I got away.
I have one more quick story. This one's a little bit more straightforward, but I think I was telling you that you fellas this one after we recorded our last show we did together. So I took a girl to our local movie theater, specifically because we had talked prior and said, you know what, we wanted to be a little bit adventurous, to do something out in public. So we thought, okay, we'll go into the movie theater
to do something in public.
To do something in public.
I thought you were gonna say you going to the movies was adventurous. I was like,
yeah, no, to do it in public at the movies.
Gotcha.
So we thought we'll just pick like one of the most
oldest movies
underrated movie that like no one is ever seeing. So kind of tying back to Disney, we went to Disney Planes, and the theater was completely empty. We were the only two in the theater, and we, just in case, we sat all the way in the back. And the movie started. We waited a little bit, till the lights went on after and everything. So we got a little handsy, my hand, went up the thigh, her hand went down on my crotch and everything. And, we're kissing and then necking and everything. So she said, so do you, what do you want to do? Do you want to do full on? And I thought, well, I can't like it's okay, but it's like we started, actually doing it. She sat on me and everything. She wore a skirt, so it was so easy. She just lifted up and move some stuff aside, and it's like, okay, we're good. But it was like
move some stuff aside,
and then it's like, okay, it's like,
was she sneaking some Skittles or some shit?
Yes.
What is she moving aside, bro?
Yeah, what you moving aside?
So. Like after a while, I was like, okay, this is like okay, but it's like not fully working, and like the seat was squeaking and everything. It was like before they updated their chairs and everything. I'm like, okay,
XD chairs.
it's like it's like this is not working.
So what you're saying is there's a sex tape of you out there at the movie theater.
Oh, there's a possibility. So
subscribe to George's OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. It's my OnlyFans. So she said, well, let me finish. And I said, oh, well, you didn't. She said, oh, no, I finished. She said, let me finish you. I'm like, oh, okay. So she migrated south and started doing her thing. And she finished me. That was fine. Now, this is the part where something so great just like went like to the shithole. And it was like,
was there people behind you the whole time?
No. We were no. We were all the way in the back. So all of a sudden we heard the door open, and I thought, oh shit. So luckily she finished me in time, but I was wearing zippered shorts and I was still erected. So it was like, I'm like, oh shit, I got it. So I tuck and fold, and I zipped up. Well, here it clipped the back of and it stuck. And I thought, fucking shit. Like, I wanted to scream like hell. And she said, what the matter? I said, I just caught my dick on the zipper. And she said, I said, I can't. It is stuck. Like, it was literally stuck. And I thought, you're going to have to call somebody. And she said, you can't. Like she said, your dick is out. I said, I know my dick is out, but I said, it fucking hurts.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, the only way this zipper is going to come off is like the boner has to go down. Like, and I'm thinking, and it's like, but at the same time, even though it was pain, it was still kind of turning me on. So it was like, it stayed.
You on some freaky shit, George?
Damn.
So I'm like just sitting there, and I'm like repeating like the Star Spangled Banner in my head, trying to get this thing to go down. And it's like, eventually it did go down, and I thought, why is it still fucking stuck? So I did like one, like not hard pull, but I did like one, and it came out. And I was like, I got it. And then afterwards I went, fuck, that hurt. And so it was great in the beginning, but at the end it was like, oh my God, that was like, I said, I am never fucking doing that again. It's like,
so the Star Spangled Banner that brought it down. That's so funny. Why that? That's so funny, dude.
I don't know, because it's like one of those.
The thought of America turns you off, right? Is that what you're saying?
I'm telling you, if you're ever in a bind and you need a boner to go down, just literally repeat the Star Spangled Banner.
That's so random, dude. How did you figure that out? How did you figure that out? Is this
I didn't even, like, it was in that moment. Like, I was trying to think of something to kind of turn my mind off of anything like sexual. So it was like, so I just started singing like the Star Spangled Banner. I thought, okay, it's actually working. So I just kept on repeating it until it essentially went on. Don't ask me what even made me think of it.
What kind of Disney fan are you? You should have read. You should have repeated Walt's opening day speech.
How dare you?
How dare you, man? Like, that's like, come on, dude.
Oh no!
You call yourself
And now
a Disney
George
fan,
can pee 3 different ways.
Oh man, George. So did you have like? I'm sure that was not that. basically what I'm saying is, was it
left
normal?
him speechless.
Was it normal after that? Like, it's got to be collateral damage after a zipper fucking.
Oh, well, actually, I was afraid to look because I thought, oh my god, I had to do some damage. Luckily, it basically gave me a self-made piercing. So it
He's
basically
circumcised.
yes. But essentially, there's no scarring. You know, there's no no. So, I mean, I like left it go. Like, I mean, I will say for like the first couple weeks, like it hurt like hell with anything. Like, I couldn't have sex for a couple weeks. Like, that was like, because it couldn't touch, it couldn't rub, I couldn't thrust, I couldn't do nothing. Like, I just like literally just. I had to literally wait for it to heal, and it was like, ugh.
That's rough, dude. That's really rough. And no one, oh man, so no one saw you though.
No one saw us. No one. The theater was
that he knows
completely
of.
empty.
That he knows
that I know of,
except the AMC surveillance camera. You know, that guy,
Have you guys seen the video of the congresswoman who got thrown out?
Yes.
Of the...
Yes.
See, that was George before the congresswoman right there.
Yep. And you don't hear the audio, but you just see him.
Yeah. Hey guys, so before we get out of here, did you guys want to add anything or ask any more questions or?
I actually have a question for
Sure.
actually my brother, Mr. OG. Okay. We talk and joke about it all the time on the channel. Right. And it's your signature look, you know, it's you, it fits you, but you have this very distinct hairstyle of how you have your hair and everything.
The
and
Johnny
I don't think
Knoxville style, bro.
Yeah,
exactly.
I never asked you like what is the origin of that hairstyle? Like, did you just like wake up one day and said, you know what, I think this style fits me, or it's like I want to experiment, I want to try.
It was weird because like about halfway through high school, I had longer hair, you know. And then halfway through high school, I'm like, I'm sick of this, you know? So I cut my hair. The issue was I was like trying to comb it to the side and stuff. I would put gel in it even, you know? But my hair just sticks up. Like, it just sticks up. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to fight it anymore. I'm going to just, wherever the universe takes me is where it's going to go, you know? So I said, fuck it. I'm going to spike it then. If it won't stay down, then it'll just go where it goes.
I have to say that there was a couple moments, like when we were on vacation, where your hair, I guess when you came out of the shower or whatever, when we were at the pool, where your hair was like flat. And I had to do like a double take. I was like, wait, who is this? I'm like, oh, that's OG. It's OG. Yeah. It's all good. Not a stranger in our room.
No, I know. Yeah, it's weird. It feels weird. Yeah, but it doesn't. Once I dry it though, it won't stay. Like if I try to keep it down, it won't stay. So up is where it goes, and it's been like that ever since. And that was since like mid high school.
Seeking the spangled banner to it.
I know. Exactly. Hey, that might work. You never know.
I do got a question myself since I have you
Sure.
here. Do you guys dip your pizza into sauces?
Oh, that's interesting.
Let me answer this just quick because it's not ranch is what usually like that's the go-to, but I don't really like. I'll maybe dip my crust, but garlic butter is like the superior. Garlic butter is like superior dip to a pizza in my opinion. And
anything with garlic is superior.
Yeah.
Honestly, and honestly, I'm being dead serious. I actually sometimes dip mine in siracha.
That's so funny. Yeah, that's great. That's great. It brings you back, huh, George? Brings you back. the glory days.
The glory days.
Oh, that's funny. No, I actually don't dip mine. I don't dip mine into anything. Occasionally, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to add when you explain, because I've actually seen you eat pizza like when we were on vacation, and there are times like you do the same thing that I do where you fold it.
Yeah,
like I mean, like that's just
like you gotta get out, like just throw that shit back. You fold it.
Just fold it. Sometimes I'll throw like red pepper flakes on it, but I don't really dip it into anything. Yeah.
Now does pineapple belong on pizza?
Yeah, that's weird.
Not for me. It's a texture thing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. It's not so much the taste because it's like okay, whatever. It's the texture of it, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Because
when you're
I
drinking.
do like sweet and savory. Like I do like stuff like that. Yeah, but something with pineapple just on pizza, it doesn't.
Well, it's kind of like the
Okay.
boba thing, right? Like I like boba, I like the drink, and I like even the little tapioca balls or whatever that come in the drink. My issue isn't the taste with that; it's just the
It's
weirdness
yeah.
of like the
No,
thing
no,
going in the
really,
straw.
no. I'm just like the biggest hypocrite ever to myself. I like sriracha sauce. I like sriracha sauce on a clit, but I don't like pineapple on a pizza. It's like,
Oh, that sounds so awful, dude.
Did you ever try pineapple on a clit, George? You ever try that? You might want to try that one
I
day.
know, bro.
Yeah.
I bet you that tastes a little better, dude.
Pineapple.
Oh my god. What about
that's
you, Kenny
hilarious.
Kipper? Do you
What part of this?
huh?
What part of my answer? I do not like sriracha at all.
especially now.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
No, the
Throw it in
pizza
the
thing.
trash.
The
yeah.
pizza. Do you dip? What do you dip
You
it
know
in?
what I like dipping mine into? Blue cheese dressing. There's something about that. The way the blue cheese mixes with the bread. Oh, it's bomb. But butter, garlic butter. Fuck yeah. You can't go wrong with that shit.
Nice.
Good classic ranch. Garlic ranch is always really good. I do like to fold the pizza depending on the shape and the size of the pizza. Sometimes you just gotta just fucking squeeze it, get it in, get it out.
There you go.
We basically do that for a lot of stuff. So it's
Right?
like-
God,
but it's actually speaking that you mentioned blue cheese. Now with blue cheese, I like the real blue cheese dressing, like that has like the clumps of crumbles in it.
me
It's
too.
like I can't stand that generic packet
Yeah.
bullshit that some places give. That's like that shit's disgusting.
Speaking of packets, man, I am a fucking whore for those Parmesan packets. I will take like 50 of them, just crack them open, and just dump it on there to the point where you're talking, just fucking feel like you eat a whole bunch of saltine crackers.
That's hilarious.
Are you the type when the waiter brings over the Parmesan cheese thing?
Just keep going.
You just tell him to keep it. Just
That's
leave it
funny.
here, dude. Just leave it here.
Did you say stop? No, I didn't say stop, motherfucker. Keep going.
Oh
I'm
man,
a huge cheese fan. I love cheese. I'll put.
It's weird. I love cheese, but I don't like Parmesan for some reason. It's like the smell is really strong. But like I'll mess with cheese for sure. Like actually, there's a thing that I recently found out about. There is this not too far from me. There's this Korean place where they serve noodles, spicy noodles, but they put like melted mozzarella cheese on it, right?
What?
Yeah, and I'm like, this is
weird.
Oh, it's really weird. And I'm like,
I've seen a couple mukbangs on YouTube. Yeah,
It
I forget what it's called, but yeah, they melt that shit like in.
Yes, it changed my life, dude. It changed my life. Now I make it. If I have a cup of noodle, I have to put the melted cheese on it. It changed my life. It's incredible.
I used to do that like with those like the ramen noodle packets or the cups. I take the string cheese.
Oh yeah,
and I peel it and I place it on there, and as I cook it, it melts in the noodles.
String
like
cheese inside of the tomato soup is always good. You just get that clump when you're eating it. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
grilled cheese. And I was talking to you, Tony, about that right off Main Street. There, they have that shop with the grilled cheese and the tomato soup. Classic.
grilled cheese and tomato soup is amazing. So as our first guest, we're going to start asking the people we have on our podcast just one last question.
Sure.
So as the first guest, we're gonna ask both of you. One of you guys can go. It could be, you can make it into.
Can I say one thing real quick first, Tony? Before you
Go
go on with that, I got two things before we end this. First off, thoughts on Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not a huge fan. I don't really watch him, but I do like him on the tram tour at Universal.
See that?
I do like him on
got his
tram
own
tour.
rides.
You know, Tramtastic. Have a Tramtastic day. That song is very catchy. I like him on that.
Okay.
So was that the ride?
so-
Was that the ride you were talking about?
No, because this motherfucker has like 4 rides and fucking ice cream.
Why?
Fuck
Okay.
this guy.
So
Oh my
okay,
God.
so here's the nothing against him as a person. I'm for sure he's a great guy.
He's probably
in
a piece of
person.
shit.
Okay. So anyway, again, I don't know him personally, so yeah, but I think he kind of overcompensates his acting, his comedy. I think I think he's not funny. You know,
Yeah.
I think his acting sucks. I was not a huge fan of him on SNL. I'm not a huge fan of his talk show. The Jimmy Fallon race through New York,
He
whatever
is
the fuck it's called in Orlando,
overrated as a person.
like in Orlando,
Yeah.
like
You didn't like him in Taxi?
oh no, I didn't like Taxi. I didn't like Fever Pitch.
By the way, in Taxi, I want you guys to go back the very first like thing where they're doing the credits and stuff. You see the person riding the bike and they're doing like tricks and shit throughout the city, like going off cars and shit. And it looks like someone professional. And then once they get to their final destination, Queen Latifah just pulls off her mask and they're like high-fiving each other. It's like, no way that was fucking Queen Latifah going through the city on a fucking bike, dude. What the fuck?
Oh,
But
that's
anyway,
hilarious.
yeah, go ahead, George. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's cool. But yeah, so as I said, I think he's an overrated, as you said, Camper, an overrated actor, an overrated. I don't know. Like a lot of people use him as sort of like a poster child for anything. Like he'll do
It's weird,
cameos. He'll do, and it's just like I don't get it. There's like so many other great talent out there, and you pick Jimmy Fallon.
I'm just not a fan of like, I don't know. There's like mainstream
It's
sort of
try-hard
like
comedy.
exactly. That's exactly what it is. Try hard comedy. It's perfect, candid. That's exactly what it is. And it's so watered down because it's so mainstream.
And isn't that a lot of actors nowadays? Like the newer upcoming actors, it's almost like they try so hard, especially
Yeah.
with comedy. It's like they have to, almost like how they have to force and push out to get a laugh. And it's like if you have to do that, then it's something that honestly you really shouldn't be doing because you don't have that natural gift.
Yeah, comedy is such a hard business to get in, and like you see the rare, Kevin Hart and Richard Pryor, like these, iconic people who got into acting. It's just like those are like rare breeds because most of the time it doesn't happen.
And I know
No.
one of OrangeGrove55's favorite,
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Cat Williams.
Oh, Cat
Yeah,
Williams
Cat
is my
Williams,
favorite.
little.
I got a few Cat Williams clips right here.
You gotta be grateful. You need haters. What the fuck is you complaining?
I love Cat Williams. I absolutely love him. I think he's so funny because he's not afraid to offend people,
Yeah.
which is a big part of it. Jimmy Fallon, he's not offending anybody. Like he's playing it too safe. He's a universal guy. And then Kimmel, same thing. He's an ABC Disney guy.
He had to
And
change
whatever.
because if that dirt comes digging up soon, he's gonna probably be in the shed with the other dogs.
Now,
Yeah.
now the biggest one was Ellen. Ellen was
Oh.
she was not that funny to me. She was not that funny. Like as far as the comedy part of it, it was not that fun.
She was
like,
also a
funny to me.
tryhard. I think
Yeah.
when she would dance, like it just didn't feel
Organic.
Funny.
It was. It has
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
Like,
You have
no,
to.
dude.
And her
Everyone's
stand up
awesome.
wasn't that good either.
I don't think
she
I've
did
ever
s-
watched her stand up.
Yeah, she apparently she did stand up. I people just didn't see it, but
Actually, Johnny Carson gave her 15 minutes in the spotlight, which actually kind of skyrocketed her career because that's how she started when she did a little comedy skit on the original Tonight Show.
wow.
Which
Yeah.
I mean Carson, like no one as a host of a host to late night, nobody still to this day can touch Carson.
Yeah, he was cool. Yeah, some of these people, though, the other people, Candid, you're right. There's a lot of tryhards. Cat Williams is funny as hell. There's actually another guy that my mom got me into, which is really funny. For her birthday, like 2 summers ago, we went to Las Vegas to see Sebastian.
Stalacasco or something like that.
Yeah, Italian dude.
Malacasco. Yeah.
Yes,
Something
and I
like
didn't,
that, yeah.
I didn't know who he was, and we saw him live at Caesar's Palace, and he was so funny.
Yeah, I
really,
saw him
really funny.
The only like big arena how can I say this? The only person I've ever went to go see as a comedian, it was him. Like a big stadium. Like we went to this hotel and it was packed. Everyone loves this guy, and I never heard of him. But when I went to go see him, I was fucking dying the whole time, dude. He is so funny.
he leans into like his Italian family and all that. It's just hilarious.
Who I really would have loved to have seen. He's no longer with us because he was like old school and everything. But it was Don Rickles. Like I would have paid to get a front row seat and literally just let that motherfucker just rail me for everything because his insults were like, I mean, he didn't hold back.
Was
like,
he the dude who used to scream?
No, you're thinking of Sam
Kinnison.
Right? Yeah,
oh,
Kinnison.
Okay, yeah.
Which was funny because he actually started out as like, I don't know if he was like started out as like a reverend or a pastor. And I don't like, yeah, that was like, and he just like got into comedy. Now Don Rickles, he did the voice of Mr. Potato Head in Toy Story. I'm trying to think. He also played in Casino.
He was also Dennis the Menace.
Oh yes, Dennis the Menace Strikes Back. He played George Wilson. Not the 1993 version with Walter Matthau, the 1997 version. I think it was 97 or 98. But anyway, like his type of comedy, like he said he took it as a place of love and fun. You know, I mean he like his insults were the best, and it was like and this is not my joke. This is his, so I'm quoting his. It's like he would look at a person in the audience. He's like, "You have to be Jewish, otherwise you're an eagle." You know, it's like, so it's like, I mean, like literally, I would pay to have him insult me because his insults were, that was his comedy.
And see, I'm a huge Dave Chappelle fan. I think Dave Chappelle is one of the fucking
Dave Chappelle is
on this planet Earth, and I'm talking like even old school Chappelle, new school Chappelle, just hilarious. Andrew Schultz, fucking hilarious.
Andrew Schultz is fucking
who
hilarious,
else is
dude.
There's a what's that other guy? I can't remember his name.
Bobby Lee's hilarious too.
Bobby Lee's pretty funny. There's another guy who always talks about Star Wars. Troy Bond. Have you heard of him?
No.
That dude's pretty fucking hilarious. You should check him out. He has he does a lot of stuff with hecklers, and he's half black, half white, and he doesn't look black, so he gets away with a lot of shit. And man, it's funny. It is great.
You guys like Bill Burr?
Bill Burr's
yeah.
He's cool.
He's
cool
too.
See, there's some great comedians out there, and it's always the ones that aren't afraid to like make people mad.
Exactly.
You know,
those
are the funniest ones.
That's I believe we were talking this on our first episode that we did. Like, people take comedians so seriously, and it's supposed to be a thing of just something you could just laugh off. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, some things are serious, but you try to make some kind of light of it by making jokes of it. You know what I'm saying? And like the people who go to go see someone, like, you're spending your money to criticize someone who's is just joking around. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. And I think that's what's missing with good comedians, is like some are too afraid to make a joke, even though we know it's a joke, because they don't want that backlash of someone saying, yeah, you got to be heartless to say something like that. But it's like, yeah, we know it sucks, but you got to make light of it somehow. And I think that's what makes a good comedian.
Well, and it's even like, I mean, you guys got to know my kind of characteristic and personality pretty quick. Like, just like how I like to make jokes. I like to, I talk shit, it's like, I don't care. And I was actually, before I joined Mr. OG, I was part of another podcast, which, what the fuck, I'll say it. Who gives a shit? The Grand Circle Tour podcast. And there was a lot of things that had to be, at least on my part, that I had to censor myself. Because it was not that I would go over my slogan that I use on OG55 is, and I actually have a shirt. I say, I go balls to the wall, because I literally mean that. It's like, if you're going to do something, jump in with both feet, go the full to the max. And it's like, when I use that term, they're like looking at me like, okay, that's like you're riding on a fine line of like, you can't say this, you can't say that. And I thought, I can't fucking do this anymore. It's like,
yeah.
That's why. Go ahead. That's why I think OG and George, you guys do something great on your channel. And I've told you this before. Like, when I've heard you drop the F words, but it's also still a Disney channel, you're like, oh, these worlds do collide. They do belong together. Like, you can have the F word and Disney be one, and it's great. And then just like your recent show, like the OG After Dark, like, that's a whole new light for you guys, and I think it's really gonna It's really going to showcase who you are as people further than what we already know about you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
well,
that's
thank you.
why, like,
Appreciate that.
when you brought this up to us, is like when you said, we'd love to have you on, Bad Thoughts. Just the title,
Yeah,
like,
we
you
love it.
had me. Like, when you said Bad Thoughts podcast, I'm like, oh, I'm fucking there. Like, it's like, cause it's like now I can like really like just dive in and just say, because even like with our channel, we still like to tend to still watch like how much, like, I mean, I'm not going to go on our channel and start talking about titties and
Sriracha?
pussy, sriracha, yeah, like, it's like, so on here I can kind of like stretch it a little bit, but but we still like to keep it fresh, we still like to be ourselves, and I think that's what a lot of content creators out
This
there,
is
at
what
least
people
today,
need.
yes, and
People
it's like
need human
they
interaction,
try to
real human
to
Exactly.
censor themselves too much, and it's like, and when you censor yourself too much, it's like you lose the personality. When you lose the personality, it's like then you just have one dried out dick.
You're starting to sing the Star Spangled Banner, right?
I'm
George?
starting to sing this. Banner.
You're basically just singing, Yeah, it's true though. It's true. I mean, it's just people. Yeah, people are afraid. It's weird. People are afraid to just be themselves sometimes. They're afraid what people are going to think and this, that, and the other. It's like, don't worry about it.
And that's what we're here for. So, I mean, we're here to give everyone that freedom back. Not that it's been taken away, but there's times and places to say certain things, and if you want that time and place to be on our podcast, then fucking bring it.
Yeah.
So I think Tony had one final thing for us before we head out.
Yeah, so I wanted to do a thing with guests we brought on, and the question is if you guys won the lottery, what's the big purchase you would make? Now, let me say this real quick: houses, cars, and all that stuff. It's obviously going to be the first thing you guys
not
get.
For mom and dad, for you.
Yeah, for you. So, what is a big purchase that you guys would make? And it has to be, it doesn't have to be something, fucking cool or anything. It could be stupid, but a big purchase that you guys would make, houses and cars aside.
OG would buy Cafe Lou.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I would. I'd franchise that shit out, dude. That'd be great. Yeah, no, but actually, to kind of actually, mine isn't too dissimilar from that, though. Believe it or not, not Cafe Lou necessarily, but like, I would actually, if I had a lot of money, and I like you said, Tones, like I already bought the house, I already got everything situated. I would do that. I would buy like 3 or 4 Starbucks like franchises. And it's like, like some income, like that's like, it's not passive income. Well, it could be if you hire someone to kind of run them for you. Yeah. But like, I would do something like that, or maybe buy like a few boba places or just these franchises. Yeah, exactly. And just, and make your money that way. Maybe even buy like a big apartment complex, right?
That was actually mine. I would actually buy into some real estate, where I could actually, take so much of the money, not all the money, but put so much money into places that I could either rent out or, and make a consistent income. But the rest I would actually, because I'm a big person that I don't love just the destination. I love the journey. I love to travel. And honestly, I would probably just travel to a bunch of different places that I probably could never even imagine going, with my income, now that it's like, where would I want to go? Like even OG and I were talking, we're going to go to Tokyo, I like eventually. So it's like, I want to be able to have like multiple experience, not just, one trip every, couple years. Like I would, if I go out, it's like I'm staying out. Like I'll just like use my passport and just travel the world.
Now houses and real estate and restaurants aside, what's something you would personally want that you would buy?
Colby Callier.
What is that?
Oh, who's that?
She's the singer that
singer.
I like.
Okay, I remember that.
Oh, okay.
No, literally, I would buy when I say buy, I mean like I would rent her out for like a period of time just for her to serenade.
What, George?
You're gonna rent.
rent out her time. Like
podcast does not condone to renting humans.
Yeah, like renting her time for her to serenade me.
There we go. That's better. That's better.
Yeah. Thanks for specifying that, George.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
What about you, OG? Like real estate
Oh.
aside, no, like restaurants or something that you could.
Can't buy people.
Yeah.
Yeah, no buying people. Man, that's a tough question. I would probably see if I could rent out Disneyland for a day and just have all the homies, like we're all just
that'd be
have it to
dope.
ourselves, That'd be
Okay,
great.
yeah,
I think I would
that's
try
dope.
that.
I
Maybe
like
after
that.
hours,
I
do
like
that.
That'd be really cool.
I think that'd be fun.
I believe it doesn't like Kim Kardashian and like those.
Oh,
big
she does it.
celebrities?
Yeah, she does it all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what happens when they rent out Disneyland for a day? They just tell the public it's shut down, or
I
does
think
that
what they
work?
do is it's always after hours. So I think like once it closes, then then those people come in and they kind of have the whole night to themselves.
I've seen where they've shut down the rides for them. So they go in with the tour guide, and then the tour guide has the main person stop the line so that they can get on like their own small world boat by themselves. So it's not a
Right.
full shutdown, and they're not actually standing in line with other human people.
Well, and again, they have to do that too, because I had mentioned this before on an episode of OG55. Because if Kim Kardashian goes to Universal and she wants to ride Hagrid's, she needs both the motorbike and the sidecar to fit in. So it's like,
Absolutely.
She's
By
gonna be
the
part
way,
of that
absolutely.
lawsuit. She's gonna be part
I
of that wedgie lawsuit.
I know, right?
Jeez.
I also forgot to bring this up earlier because the one thing about Disneyland that I really liked was it's big boy friendly. I was not expecting it to be big boy friendly, and the first thing I asked Kenny Camper when he said, let's go to Disneyland, and I was like, bro, am I gonna be able to fit on these fucking rides? Like, I'm a big boy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, dude, you're good, and I was like, oh, whatever, bro. I'm probably not gonna be able to fit. And dude, these like most of the only one was the water ride when you're on the log. Was that?
Oh, Splash Mountain.
Splash Mountain. That was the only ride that I really, because my ass, I don't know if you remember this, Kenny Camper, our asses were like touching the fucking bottom and you could feel the
Dude,
bump.
that fucking boat was like 2,000 pounds. I shit you not. I've never been so wet on that fucking ride going through
Dude.
motherfuckers.
Oh
Best
my
ride you
God.
could
The
ever
chick in
go
front of
on.
us? Remember the chick in front of us? In the
Dude.
front?
Was that the one my brother was on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was me, you, and your brother, and then there were these two girls, and
Yep.
we barely got wet because the
Dude, I've been
Oh,
soaked
no.
ride
on,
was,
on
it was
Matterhorn
so down,
before.
dude.
Oh, that's
soaked on
hilarious.
Matterhorn. Have you ever been soaked on Matterhorn?
No.
on
that's
Matterhorn.
Dude,
That's interesting.
At the ending, it literally came up. It went over, just like when you get on the splash boats. It went over the top and just on everybody.
No shit.
Yeah, I don't know if they just refilled the moat that day.
Oh, they had
or-
to do something because I've
It was
never.
crazy.
Wow.
That's wild. That's wild. Now Grizzly Mountain, Grizzly Peak, that one is
I never get wet on that thing.
what? Oh
Yeah,
man,
I guess
always
I'm
get-
always lucky.
Now let
Yeah,
me
I
ask you,
get
what
messed up
time?
on
What
that
time
one.
of the year do you usually go?
I mean, shit, I've been every time of the year.
Okay.
And
Because I was
usually
going to
it's
say,
at
because what they
nighttime,
do
though.
is they control like the water pressure, like as
I could
far
see
as
that.
to create the rapids. Like during like the colder months, they kind of die it down, and then during the summer they like really ramp it up the
I
rapids.
mean, I've been on this summer, and it's just I've never gotten like, don't get me wrong, I'll get wet, I'll get hit by the waterfall every once in a while, but not walking off soaked.
Maybe
Like,
it
I've
just
been-
doesn't like you.
Fuck, I'm okay with that. No one likes that fucking ride, anyways.
It's crazy.
boring.
I always walk off that thing dripping wet, like just soaked.
Did you go on
That's
Cali
so-
River Rapids?
No, we didn't go on that one, did we, George? No, we didn't go on that
No,
one.
we didn't go on Cali.
That's
we
a
didn't.
beautiful
Yeah.
queue too. That whole ride is gorgeous. Just a shitty ass ride. But
I was going to
Wow.
say now I'll go on Grizzly River before Cali.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do too. Like I come out like dripping wet, like soaked. Then she
I've
jumps
gotten-
off of me and then we go, so.
I've gotten stuck.
Oh man.
I've gotten stuck on Splash Mountain right at the hill once, and I remember them trying to get you out. And you don't realize how fucking steep that hill is on the
Oh,
inside.
yeah.
And you have to like jump out of the boat, and then like it's like a drop to the stairs. And I remember bashing my leg open, like bashing my
Ooh.
leg, and have this big ass bruise like instantly on my leg. And they told me to go down to City Hall and talk to them, of course, because they don't want no lawsuit. So
Yeah, of
we went
course.
down there, and they let us on all the rides. And well, let me reverse that a little bit. The lady gave us a pass to go on all the rides, and I asked her. I said, "Any ride I want, right?" And I'm a smart ass, so I know exactly what I'm doing. And she said, "Yeah, any ride." I said, "You sure?" She's like, "Yep, any ride you want." So I go to Space Mountain after I go to they walk me to the up front, and I go there and they give me ice pack, whatever. So anyways, I go to Space Mountain and I try to use the pass, and she's like, "Oh yeah, you can't do that." And I was like, "They told me I could go on anything I wanted," and she's like, "No, we can't do that. We're not letting you on this." And this is one of those moments where I'm like, "Why the fuck wouldn't you just like let me on?" Like this is that non-Disney magic that I'm talking about.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
she ends up getting on the radio and calling somebody. And then she's like, "Yeah, we're not letting you on." And now it's to the point where I'm like, "Fuck, I have to be like that Karen person," which I don't like being. So I go all the way back, which everyone that's been there, that's a hike. So I go back to the front with the bunk ass leg with the fucking ice pack on, and I let the person at City Hall know. And the dude at City Hall had happened to be the Facilier, the person that plays Facilier. I know it was him. So it's just awesome, and it's this super flamboyant, just happy fucking person, like the happiest person I've ever seen in a Disney place. You know what? How? Oh my god! No way! And just upping my I'm just getting jacked out. I'm like,
And you're
"Fuck
like,
yeah, fuck that."
Yeah, like yeah.
So this place is packed because it's at the it's at the end of the night, so everyone their mom's always in that place. And he looks over and says, "I'll be right back." And so the other cast members just sitting there. There's a fucking line behind us. "I'll be right back." Come on,
He's like, you're running over to
walks
Space Mountain.
all the way over to Space Mountain and says, "They get to go on this ride." And they walked us all the way to the front of the ride and got us on Space Mountain.
Wow,
I'd be
man.
like, yeah, Dr. Facilier did this for me, bitches. Move aside.
But like,
Boom.
come on, it was one of those where I knew, I kind of knew what I was doing, but at the same time, why make a rule like that? And
And really, how much is that going to hinder? That's not going to make anybody go out of their way. It's going to screw up the
algorithm. Fastpass already fucking up everything at that damn park, anyways. Might as well let me sneak on by with an actual pass.
Exactly. And why are you gonna rock the boat with someone who could possibly sue you?
Oh, I probably could. I probably still have that bruise right now. I'm feeling it.
You know what I'm saying? I think you still got a bump down there, Ken. You might want to,
I've never walked the same.
Emotional damage.
They should just let you
use some sriracha. It may help.
And I would have understood it more if it was like Rise of the Resistance, because it was just open, like brand new.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't even gonna try that shit.
Right.
But it's Space Mountain, dude.
So when I went with your brother, the ride shut down at Rise of the Resistance. Is shut down for like an hour, and they announced that we could leave and then come back once it's on, and then just tell them that you were waiting in line when you come back. You were waiting in line when it shut down. So as we were about to leave, you hear the music go, and we're like, "Oh shit, it's back on." So they're like, "Okay, the ride's good. We're gonna continue." So we end up getting on the ride, and we come back out, and I look to your brother, and I'm like, "Hey, go tell them that we're back from because the ride's back up, and let's see if we can hop on again." And the line's fucking long as hell. So your brother goes up to him, and me and his girlfriend are waiting over there, and he all of a sudden you see him go like this. And so dude, by the way, I think the fast pass, is it called fast pass? Is that what it's called? The fast pass for that ride is literally you get in the line and you turn the corner and you're there. Do you ever notice that?
The lightning lane.
Yeah, dude, it was quick as hell, dude. That was like the fastest. Anyway, but he calls us over, and like, you guys were on the line when it shut down. We're like, yeah, like, okay, come with me. So he puts us in the next group, dude, and we just get on. So we went twice, like crazy. Back to back, dude.
And I think it's funny that you guys bring up like the lightning lane and the fast pass and everything, but I don't know if you either one of you fellas follow him on like Twitter, or you've seen his videos. Braden from Mickey Views, was he was at the parks, and I think it was so funny that he actually went through the standby line. He went through the fucking standby line in Toy Story Mania. It was a walk on, and the line for the lightning lane is like past the fucking entrance. I thought that was wild.
Crazy. I love Braden. I watched Braden from the beginning too, just like as a little kid, and then he moved out there and like actually got to follow his dreams. So shout out to Braden.
Yeah, no, he's fantastic. He's fantastic. Funny story actually about Rise of the Resistance. I think it was like right before the pandemic. I was there with a buddy of mine, and he was friends with one of the cast members who was like a lead over there at that attraction. And this dude was this cast member was spitting all kinds of like knowledge about the attraction, really interesting stuff. So apparently, what happened is that they imported when they built the land, they imported a bunch of trees from like various countries, right? So they imported these trees from all over the world because they wanted it to look like otherworldly, you know. So a lot of the trees were like crazy looking trees. So they were bringing in all these trees from around the world. What they didn't realize though is when they were bringing the trees in, there were like these fucking like spiders and shit that were in the trees, and they were like these exotic like poisonous freaking spiders and crazy like these crazy bugs they were bringing into the park. You know, so they had all these issues with it when they planned this stuff. They had like an infestation, and they had to deal with all that. Oh, and
they take out a Bugs Land, but they bring in that shit.
Yeah.
I loved Bugs Land, by the way. I thought
I
Bugs
did
Land was
too.
so
I did
fucking
too.
cool.
I like aesthetically, I actually enjoyed
That was a great
that
land.
land. I enjoyed it. I really did.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even know, even though I didn't ride anything there, I just loved
Oh,
walking. through
Heimlich,
it.
dude. Come
Oh
on.
no Heimlich's
Heimlich
choo-choo train.
train.
Yeah, okay, I did Heimlich's, but I mean like Flicks Flyers and like the bumper cars and all that. I didn't do. No, Heimlich's choo-choo train I did, but I mean like I just loved just walking through that land.
The candy corn.
The kind of cool.
Well, if we had more room in that park, or if they could have maybe put Marvel where Hollywood is, yeah, I mean, it would have been cool to keep both.
Yeah, I think
You know?
that they did mess up by kind of getting rid of that, because I think that's like, even Pixar Pier to me is still not all the way at the level of like what children could play in, as far as how it was with the other land.
It's older.
And I think that's what's so upsetting is A Bug's Land was never on the chopping block. It was never even in
It
consideration
shouldn't
of
have had to
taking
be.
it.
Like, it wasn't like,
Because
what
the
really need to
only
upkeep?
the only reason why that got the got chopped was because of the issue from the Eastern Gateway project that they couldn't expand out for Hollywood Land, and they had to quickly do something for Adventures Campus. So what they took the smallest little section of the park to expand out to where Mission Breakout was, and unfortunately that was A Bug's Land.
Kind of little bit going back. I know we're trying to end this like 400 times, but that's the whole
No,
point of
you're
this
good, bro.
fucking podcast.
We'll probably
Yeah.
do like a part 1, part 2.
Right? We might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
Why
you
not?
know?
Yeah, that's cool.
Since you guys probably frequently go to Disneyland, so you kind of know, but on Indiana Jones, it's notorious for going down. Do you know the little trick with the lights? Have you ever seen that? So the
No.
lights. Remember when you're in the ride, the lights flicker. They kind of like dim in and dim out. If they turn on all the way without flickering, the ride's down.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I always tell like my friends and family, sit there for maybe 10, 15 minutes. And if the lights dim back down and start flickering, then you're good to go. The ride's back up. Because you're
That's
like
cool.
a mile away from the ride half the time. So you're not even going to know. Unless they're doing that bullshit I think we talked about before, where they have you waiting in line all the way out there instead of letting me in the fucking giant, beautiful temple that they built. God, I can't believe they still do that. And then have you waiting on top of on the
Jungle
boats,
Cruise.
on Jungle
Jungle
Cruise.
Cruise.
And
Oh, did
then
you
you
even
can
see
see
like
that
the
on the ride.
exiting out of that
Yeah.
ride? Like they actually have to have someone be out there as a crossing guard. It's like, okay, for everyone that's going like out of the Jungle Cruise, like pass by and then you pass through Indiana Jones. It's like an intersection.
There's no other way to do that fast, unless they had them go through the exit.
Yeah.
But even then,
Now I wanted to bring something up since we're gonna do part 1, part 2. Figure, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna do. Let's just go for it. You know,
Let it fly. Let it fly.
let it fly. You know, let's rock and roll. So this has been bothering me for a long time. Like this is crazy. So with like kind of like the whole Disney community, canon, the Disney community. There's this thing out there, and it's like, especially with Star Wars, but it's even with Disney, where it's like there's people that will monetize like hating on it, right? Like it's like literally they're feeding their families based on like just creating content about how Disney fucking sucks. That's all it is, just the Mouse House bad all day long. But then like these same people would be like, oh, Disney's dead, right? It's irrelevant. And I'm like, this bothers me because it's like, wait a minute. Like you literally are feeding your family based on this thing, right? Disney. But now you're saying it's irrelevant. Like, it's not that fucking irrelevant. Like, go make Popeye videos or Felix the Cat videos and see how much money you get for that, right? Like, if something's really irrelevant, you're not eating from, you're not feeding your family on it. You know what I'm saying? And that just drives me nuts. And I've been seeing it over and over and over again. There was a tweet today, I'm not going to say by who, but there was a tweet today about how Disney has fallen. Like, it's like a country or something. Disney's fallen because of, like, I don't remember what it was. Oh, because of the Nelson Peltz thing, the shareholder thing. I'm like, what are they talking about?
And I'll even add on a little bit to your point, OG, too. Another thing that drives me nuts is the biggest pet peeve, that these same people, that are like, they're bashing the company, they say shit, they talk this, they talk that, and then the very next fucking day they got a picture posted of them in front of the castle saying, look where I'm at today. It's like, what the fuck?
And not only that, now I get to add on to your both shit that bothers me, is that those same fucking people are the people that get in for free and get Disney like little charm wristband to get in the fucking park. Oh, hey, we need you to come down here so you can use your content and create an ecosystem for us. And I think all that's bullshit too. And it pisses me off that there's other people on the YouTube and these other platforms that are in the same boat as these bigger stars that are getting all this free shit. I'm just gonna call it free shit. And those littler people that are still as big as them are not getting any love just because they say one word or they do speak their mind out.
Yeah, no, it's crazy out there. It's absolutely crazy out there. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it how you can rail against something 24/7 and then give that company money. Like, I literally have seen people who have accused Disney and even Knott's now of pretty egregious stuff, which I don't agree on. But these people will accuse them of, like, brainwashing your children, basically. But they're fucking going to the park. Like, why are you giving Disney your money if you think they're brainwashing children?
Well, you guys said
that's fucking weird.
Vote with your wallet. How many times I've heard you on all 40,000 podcasts that you guys done? Vote with your fucking wallet.
Yeah.
You didn't want these passes. Vote with your fucking wallet. And now what? Everyone, guess what I did when I went to Disney World? I paid for the fucking pass. I voted with my wallet, and I got on every single fucking ride. Didn't have to wait more than 15 minutes. So yeah, they fucking got me. But I'm not sitting here complaining about it. I'm okay with it. I love Disney. I will go to Disney even if they're the biggest piece of shit in the world. I'm still gonna go. Like, I'm sorry, I'm brainwashed.
And here's the thing too, where I think a lot of people need to differentiate Disney with the people who are running it. See, and that's where people kind of tie in both concepts and fuse it together. Me, I can't stand the people who are running it, of how they turned it so corporate. And so it's like this and that. Disney itself, as the name, as the brand, as the entertainment of what I grew up on, I love it. I always will love it. I'll always tend to support them. Is there things that I still disagree on? Anybody will. But I mean, like, but you can still, you could still go and have fun and enjoy yourself and not live a miserable, fucking horrible life about seeing all just the gray area.
Well, Disney's also sections. And people don't understand that too, because when someone says Disney, I think a lot of people just take that whole umbrella, the whole company. Where, like, me personally, I'm not huge on the movies. Like, I love Disney movies, but I'm not going to be able to name every actor or every person that directed it. Like, I'm not on the OG55, like how hardcore your brain is with that stuff. I am a park person. Disney has always been a park person or park for me. Like, I go in there, I know where I'm going. I know how to run that fucking place, and I know how to get on everything. Like, that's my shit. So when I think of all this stuff where people are hating on it, like you're saying, what are you talking about? Like, not you, but what are they talking about? Are they talking about the parks? Are they talking about, like you said, George, who's running it? Like, there's so many different things. If you're going to give me something that you hate, fucking break it down for me. Break it down.
That's what I was going to say. Most of these people, they'll find this one little nick, you know what I'm saying, and hate on it. And that just goes for everything in general. But, like, if you're gonna take a stance about something small and say, this whole park's a piece of shit or whatever the case may be, like, stand on it and tell us what the exact thing is about it. Don't just, like, brush it off and not elaborate on it.
Once you pinpoint that what it is, you're gonna be able to. You as a person should be able to sit back and realize, like, you know what? I just don't like the fucking turkey legs. Like
Right,
I
exactly.
like everything else. It's the fucking turkey leg and the motherfucker in the back shooting it with the injections. I
With,
hate
with the
both of those
Breaking Bad
motherfuckers.
suit on and the whole
Exactly.
thing.
And then
You
guess
know?
what? Now you can go and take your pictures in front of there without the turkey leg, and everything's gonna be fine. You're not gonna have OG on your fucking ass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just crazy. Like for me, it's like I'm the kind of person where if I don't like something, I don't do it. I know it's
Exactly.
weird. I'm old school.
Oh, that's
So it's
weird
like-
to you?
You know,
I'm sorry.
I'm just, I don't get it. I see these people, these YouTube channels and whatever, where they're just complaining about shit all day long about how terrible this is.
The only
they're fucking
thing
at
you
the
can
parks.
complain about that is valid and that you're still gonna have to do is pay your fucking taxes and get gas. I don't want to pay fucking $6 a gallon, but motherfucker, I gotta get somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
But that's like
Like,
taking like I'm not a fan of like Coors Light. I hate that shit. It's like it tastes like ugh, God, I don't even know what
It's
it
like
tastes
mountain
like.
water.
It tastes like the smell of piss with foam. But it's like if you were to take if I was to take a Coors Light and I keep on drinking it, I'm like, oh, this is the most disgusting fucking thing I ever tasted in my life, and then I just keep drinking it. It's like,
Yep.
then fucking stop. It's like, so if you have a problem with it, that's fine. But if you are gonna bitch and complain and moan about everything, and then the very next day you're gonna go into the park, wear your fucking mouse ears, go get your churro, go take a selfie behind the purple wall, it's like, then what are we doing here? What are we talking about?
Yep.
yeah. No, I know. I feel the same way, dude. I
Purple
just
walls.
there comes a point where you're no longer a fan if like you just don't like everything about it. Like at a certain point, like you're not even a disgruntled fan. You're just not even a fan anymore. So why waste your time? Like,
Well,
a lot
it
of
makes
people
me
do that
even
with
wonder
Star
if these people weren't even fans to begin with. Like,
Oh,
I wonder
maybe.
if it like just transitioned to where social media just kind of intertwined with the true dedicated fans.
How many times have I talked to you about like just my thoughts of like blue sky and things? How many of these people actually have that ambition
Yeah.
or even want to? Like, I know damn well I can never be a fucking Imagineer.
But I love that shit.
I
It's like
love it.
just talking about it, like say, this is what I would do. If I was an Imagineer, this is I love talking that blue
Find
sky
a
shit.
solution instead of fucking finding a problem.
Exactly.
Yes.
And like for me, like a lot of guys are solution based. Like when they argue with their that's the thing too. Like men, like when they argue with their girlfriend, the girlfriend is usually like, and not for everybody. I don't want to like totally broad brush this thing, but it typically the dynamic is the female is complaining about this, that, and the other, and the guy wants to get to the point. How do we fix it? You know what I'm saying? And it's like that's kind of my feeling too. Is like, okay, fine. You don't like this. You don't like that. You don't like this. You don't like that. How do we fix that? I
Exactly.
hate this, like just sitting in this like pool of negativity of like everything just sucks and like there's no solution to any of it. There's no problem solving or like, I can't do that. And
I
some
will be a
people love it.
hypocrite. I will be a hypocrite because I will end up getting on Matterhorn at least one time every trip. But it's like you have to do it. But fuck that ride and fuck Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah,
exactly.
Fallon?
Yeah,
You mean Fallon?
Now, fuck him too.
Yeah, fucking both.
Fuck Fallon riding the Matterhorn.
What about
Dude, I
what
wish we could put that dude on the Matterhorn and strap his ass in and let him fucking go 400 times. See if it's fucking funny. You'll find some
That's-
fucking stupid ass joke to make.
Oh,
Well,
man.
man, I tell you. Now, what do you think about Stephen Colbert though? Are you cool with that guy?
I think he's actually funny. He's genuine. Like he's actually more of a. I don't find him hilarious, but I think what his content is more like. I don't know. It's just more real. Like he's not trying hard. He just comes
Yeah,
off.
exactly.
He's smooth. Let's put it that way.
Okay, now let
Yeah.
me ask you this, Candid, about because you had mentioned Jimmy Kimmel. How do you
Here we
feel
go.
about him in his previous years before, like when he
Oh.
did the Man Show
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Adam Carolla?
So the Man Show, rewatching it now, it's not funny at all. Like I don't know how that show fucking did it. It's not funny, but as a person during that time, I mean that's the attitude I think we all need to have now. But he also sold himself out because, like I
Yeah.
said, I think he's scared and doesn't want that shit to come up. And I don't know how the fuck he got so lucky to move into the world that he's in now. I think he was planted there for some crazy reason. Like why?
That is a good
Like,
that is a good
why is he there?
observation of it. Like when you see a person like that who was on Comedy Central for the Man Show, who created But don't get me wrong, because I did enjoy the show Crank Yankers. I don't know if
Oh,
you
yeah,
guys
that's
ever seen.
great.
You
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
Crank Yankers? Okay.
Is that the
Dude,
puppet one?
that-
The puppet, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you just see him kind of divulge into late night talk show, and it's like, yeah, how the fuck did that transition?
Yeah,
from
and
that
that's
to
what I'm saying.
that?
It's almost like he was brought there to hide from his past, and he's trying to change people's views, and people don't forget. Let's put it that way. People don't forget.
No.
Yeah.
They don't. They don't forget.
Just like in Superbad when that dude pissed his pants. People don't forget.
I'm glad you brought that movie up because it's one of my favorite movies. That is a
I
funny
love that fucking
movie.
movie.
And Tones and I talked about that on our last episode, and we're just talking about that improv and how funny like true comedy is being improvising. I think it just really makes a fucking movie.
And that's it. If someone were to ask me,
yeah.
like, what is one of your all-time favorite
That's it.
comedy movies? That's it. It's Superbad. Like, that's just hands down.
And what we were also sorry to cut you off, OG.
No, you're good.
What we were kind of getting into was, if you notice, most of the iconic movies that come out, you'll like the actors and actresses will talk about a certain part that people loved, and they always refer back to it being improved. Like the most iconic parts in movies, especially funny movies, are improv. And I think that's what makes a great movie, is even though it wasn't on the script or it wasn't, written for you to say, you said it, and
it doesn't even have to even be funny.
No, yeah,
Like
exactly.
Pulp Fiction, for instance, when they're talking about the cheeseburgers. I don't know if that part's improv, but it seems like it is. It just seems like two fucking dudes just talking about bullshit. Or when they're in the hallway waiting to go blast those fucking guys. Like they're literally talking about homeboy like rubbing his girl's feet. Like,
Yeah.
come the fuck on. That's a normal life conversation that I feel like I would have with you guys before I go blast some motherfucker.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Which I do have to say though, speaking that you brought up Pulp Fiction, in the words of Samuel L. Jackson, this is something that you guys I am the foot fucking master. I do give.
And speaking of Superbad, I actually do have a Superbad drop here. I'll play it for you. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get one for show. For show. I'm getting that for show.
Dude, my favorite fucking part about that movie is when after he hits him and he's taking him to get some liquor, and he's just sitting there. So you guys got a Facebook or a MySpace?
MySpace, yeah. But
what a creep.
But I actually saw that in theaters, and the one scene, literally, because we all bursted out, the whole entire fucking thing, because that theater was packed, and you don't see a movie like Superbad, especially in today's time, that you get a packed theater like that. You just don't. And we all bursted out, and it applauded, like it erupted when it was close to the end of the movie when McLovin had the girl in the bedroom, and she started sucking on his finger, and then he said,
"Oh yeah,
I got a boner," and it was like after that, like the whole entire fucking theater like erupted.
Can I tell you though, guys? So you guys ever watch this movie? This movie I'm going to mention right now. This movie frustrated me so bad. Like even thinking about it right now made me so fucking pissed off. Do you guys ever see Project X?
No,
yes,
I haven't seen it.
I've seen it.
Dude, when that kid, he's about to hook up with like that hot ass chick, and he fucks it up, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, that girl was like a 10.5, man. I'm still pissed off about that. Like, dude, you were that close.
Dude, so bad.
I just looked it up. That's like one of those. I mean, this is like every 2000s movie.
Yeah.
just apply it for y'all that don't know what it is. It looks like it's just like a rave, a party, college.
Did you guys hear about the whole thing with Project X after it came out?
I know the movie.
It's a true story,
now,
right?
Like,
yeah, no, like people were having these like bashes, bro. Like whole block parties just going crazy, and like it was going viral. Like when viral's at its fucking core, people were having these fucking Project X parties, and bam, like people were getting fucking arrested and like charged with like some hefty fines, dude, and jail time for throwing these Project X parties. Like it was crazy.
Something else we talked about too the other day, which I would love to get your take on. If you were to hang out for the day with one horror movie villain, just to hang out with them, who would it be?
Horror movie villain.
I don't really watch a lot of horror movies, but one horror movie villain.
And George, the word is horror, not
Horror.
horror.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh, damn. Okay, now I have to really think. I mean, that's pretty tough because I mean, if it's a horror villain, it's like they're gonna end up fucking me up one way or the other. So it's like,
No, you guys are friends. You're
No,
just chilling for the-
yeah. You, so the
okay, so
so
we're like
you
we're
guys-
like cool.
yeah.
We're okay.
So
just live their
real
lifestyle
quick,
with them for the day.
Yeah, real quick. Cannon Camper picked Jason, and I picked Freddie. So those
Okay.
were ours. And I was telling them, fucking with people in their dreams was fucking dope, and we'd be fucking with people in their dreams. And then Cannon Camper, go ahead.
I was just basically saying, like, dude, if I hang out with Jason, I get to go to I get to chill on the beach all day, pretty much, or on the lake and just fish. You know,
Actually, here, okay. My whole perception of that went completely different. That when you said Freddie, and it's like you could fuck somebody up in their dreams. It's like, but I could use that to my advantage. I could actually fuck somebody in their dreams. It's like, so I'd have to say, like, I'll say Freddie.
Yeah. No, Freddie would be pretty cool, man. And I wouldn't necessarily even do the dream thing. I would just be like, he'd be fun to like if we're even sitting at home chilling, and he's like across the room on the couch, and I throw him like an apple, and he like slices it up. Yeah.
throw me another apple.
Like a Wolverine, the fucking apple,
He's-
dude.
Just make sure,
yeah.
make sure, OG, you actually grab the real fruit, not the plastic.
Yeah, exactly. Not from the dining room table. Yeah. Ugh.
Oh man,
Jason is a mute though, so I think that's the only thing that might be a little hard
Yeah.
for me. Where Michael Myers, same thing. Why are these motherfuckers mutes? Wouldn't they be
That's weird.
scarier if they actually talked? Or you
I don't know.
that's
I think
the-
it would cheap. I think it would cheapen it a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh man, as much as we can talk, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up there. First of all, I want to say before we end, OG and George, thank you guys so much for having us on and you guys are always welcome on here.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving us a chance to be on your guys' podcast and show the world how dumb we are. But I do appreciate you guys' hospitality, and like I said, you guys are always welcome here. For sure. But yeah, man, so OG, where can they find you, bro?
Well, I just want to also say the same thing. You're always welcome on OG55, both of you. Anytime you guys want to come on, just say the word. We'll have you on. We'll talk parks. We'll talk
Appreciate
movies,
it.
whatever you guys want to talk about. Absolutely. But you can find me on YouTube, OrangeGrove55. You can find me on X, which is at OrangeGrove55. You can also find me on Instagram, OrangeGrove55. With this guy right here, George the Italiano. So, George, you're up to bat,
George,
sir.
yeah, George, where can they find you, bro?
Absolutely. You could find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at DisneyGeorge. You could also find me on the podcast called A Walk with Walt, where we dive into the rich history of the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Walt Disney himself. And of course, you'll find me on my home base at OrangeGrove55 with Citrus Corner, with all that sweet, juicy, but sometimes sticky Disney news and info. And yeah, I want to thank you both for having us on. It was great. As I echo my brother OG, you both are always welcome back on the channel, and I'll definitely be back on your podcast because that way I can go from rated R to NC-17, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah, George, I want to ask you, why are your fingers so sticky? Is that siracha? You got to wash that off?
Yeah.
Yeah, got a little bit there. on
George
the
the Italiano Srirachiano.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, Candy Camper, where can they find you, bro?
Yeah, you can find me the Cannon Camper on YouTube. You can find me on the Cannon Camper at the Twitter, the X, and that's kind of it. And you can find us the Bad Thoughts podcast on Spotify now.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
And I'm Tones. You guys find me on Tones_TV on all platforms. And don't forget to subscribe and go to our Spotify and listen there as well. And that was it. You guys have a great night. Catch you guys later. Love y'all.